All right, welcome back, everybody. Talmin Legends Session 7. And we got the whole crew with us again today, which is just great. Before we jump on in, our friend Felix is going to go ahead and give us a recap. So, Felix, why don't you let us know what happened last session?
In Session 6, our previous session, we came back from fighting off an encounter, and we encountered some enemies like vine shamblers, some jungle spiders, and some more of the sharp beaks. After fending them off for a while, we eventually found the large gray stone that was in the center of the fork's path, as well as a strange sundial that had a small puzzle behind it with the researchers that we had found. We learned that the Twala's pendant that we've been using to track the moon druid was connected to the stones. And as we were solving the sundial, we learned that it required an item that would allow us to get a new heroic item. After we went through this puzzle and encounters, we took the fork to the right, and then we encountered some more vine shamblers, some more jungle creatures, and we managed to talk to one of the vine shamblers who was Valletta speaking through it. Valletta did not believe us at first and even showed us a greater jungle beast monster that the researcher had hinted in his notes. However, we were able to manage to talk him down by bringing up Twala's pendant and how we were trying to help him, along with bringing up the curse and the Empire's accusations toward him. We eventually talked to him in his own shack. We had a small conversation about the curse and how he possibly cure it. And while he does not believe that he can cure the curse, he believes that the temple located in the jungle might be the source of what is going on around the world. We know that to unlock this door, though, we require a small heirloom from the Crystal Shoals leaders that they keep very closely within their own family business. We've now returned to the Crystal Shoals and are trying to devise a plan in order to get this heirloom over to Valletta.
That was great. Yep. That sounds pretty spot on. The heirloom that you speak of is the heart of the jungle. And with that knowledge, you guys traveled back to Crystal Shoals and took a little nap. Another thing, too, is I went through finally and updated the date. So it's a correct date to what's actually happening in just additional time and not that weird funky time I was doing at first. So you guys have all been traveling together for just a little over a week. Haven't we bonded in so much time? Oh my gosh. But with that, let's go ahead and go on back to the Crystal Shoals Inn. Let me unpause the game. Let me flip on the schedule. All right. It's a beautiful morning. Crystal Shoals. You guys awake in the inn. You smell the sea wafting in through the windows. It's very pleasant and peaceful and relaxed. What would you guys like to do?
Well, Valen would probably be going over his spells and making sure he's got everything he needs at quick access here at the breakfast table.
What Felix does best and just start brewing some morning tea. However, he doesn't want to be rude and bother the bartender, so he's just going to make a cold brew of tea.
Oh, some variation of tea.
You do that. You
Bird,
brew
right.
a nice.
So, what's our plan to get the heart of the jungle? We are just going to, knock at the Lord's house and ask for their heirloom nicely?
Maybe if we appeal to their senses, if they're also affected by the curse, maybe they would also be open to giving over the heirloom. Perhaps we can have them collaborate with Moon Druid. I mean, Valletta, I imagine, is powerful with his magics, but, if we had about 3 or 5 wizards, it's probably better than just one.
As you guys are sitting there, waking up at the table, sipping Felix's tea, you hear a hustle and bustle, kind of. You hear the door swing open. It has like a little bell. Cha-ching! And the door swings open. And in from the door runs this man. And he runs up. And he's like looking at a little amulet in his hand. And he's looking around. And he notices Terra. And he's just like, my daughter. And he runs up to Terra. And I guess waits for her reaction.
Is this actually him?
I mean, you called him.
I didn't tell him where I was.
He said, I found you. Oh, I knew I could trace it. Luckily, that mage wasn't lying to me. And he's kind of skeptical of you, waiting to like embrace you.
I guess I stand up if he's acting like he wants a hug. I kind of like a really awkward, like one arm kind of pat on the shoulder.
He's like, it's been so long. I forget how long it's been. Maybe you can remind me how long it's been.
Like 5 years.
Yes, it's been that long. It's like, he's like, where have you been? Have they kidnapped you? And he looks at Valen and he goes, these dirty elves.
No
Hey.
one kidnapped
Hey.
me, and I like just hold my hand out like towards Valen's like face, like shh. Just no one kidnapped me anywhere. This is a really not great time for this.
He looks at you and he goes, what are you doing on this backwater continent? Running around with all of these others. And he's like looking at pretty much everybody else but Terra. The elves over here. You can just tell he's really uncomfortable being.
Well, there's big things happening in the world, in more places than home.
He turns to you and he says, you didn't leave a letter? You just left for 5 years? He's just like, and you know how long we have been looking for you? Do you know how long it took us to get here? To find you finally? And then you reach out with no context.
I mean, I only messaged you last night. You got here pretty fast.
He's just like, oh yes, about that. Well, fortunately, the two of us have a lot of contacts and quite a great amount of wealth now. And as he says that, he looks towards the door, and in the door runs Theo Maris. He busts through the door like with quick anticipation and looks around. He goes, my betrothed, my beloved, and he's kind of like just making a fool of himself. He runs up to you.
Oh boy.
And he goes to embrace
boy.
you and says, I found you at last. And he goes to hug you.
I do not reciprocate his hug.
Felix is going to kind of like gently cough into his fist, and he's gonna go, Lass, would you like me? And he points at Valen and Halof and say, do you want us to excuse ourselves so that you can catch up?
No, I'd much rather there be people around.
Ivan, you stick around.
Theo looks at you and he goes, where have you gone, my darling? I thought you were kidnapped. I haven't stopped searching for you since the day that you left. And you can tell that like this is a much different mentality than he had when you guys interacted last time.
Like, can I insight check him?
You can. Will you roll me, I guess, an insight check?
Nope, I'm just in full-blown panic mode right now.
He looks at you and he goes, so much has changed and we need to get back. We need to get back to Arcadia. Quickly. We must let everybody know that you're alive.
You're welcome to go let everyone know I'm alive, but I won't be joining.
He kind of looks at you and gasps. He's like, but I've spent so much money taking the portal here. He's like, the mages, portals aren't cheap this time of year. He's giving you dirty looks. He goes, come on, enough of this nonsense. Let us go. And he kind of like pulls away, but like reaches out to grab your hand and pull you with him.
Can I like out of his grasp, like couple steps back real fast?
No.
Yeah.
I will put myself between he and Terra.
Oh.
She said no.
Where are you, Jin? You're over here in the bedroom. You're still sleeping, bud. What are you doing?
I know. I am
He
lost.
comes
And I'm
running out
sorry.
of the room.
I am lost and I'm sorry. I think
Do you
that's
need-
here. Yeah, here.
All right. You kind of put yourself between Terra and the others, and they kind of take a step back. And both the dad and what's this guy's name, Theo, are just like in shock. And they're like, what is this? We thought you called us for help, and then we come to help you, and it turns out that you don't need help. Now you're being protected by these pointies. And he's like pointing at the elves. He's like, an explanation.
So what I'm understanding is that I reached out to you for help. You didn't listen to a word I said and came running to my defense, which wasn't at all what I asked for.
He says, he gives you this like really sad story with like a tear in his eye about how him and your mom thought that they lost you in the middle of the night. They thought it was the same assassins that got your sister.
What?
What?
They stop and they go, oh, she doesn't know. Theo kind of just like calms down Florence. And he's like, we have a lot to discuss. He's like, I guess there's no better time than now. And he kind of steps past the elves, almost disregarding them. He tells you a story about how a group of assassins has infiltrated, like the high-end trade network of like gems and stuff that you guys were a part of. And because of that, they have killed not only Theo's dad, leaving him in charge as head of the family, but they have also assassinated your sister because your dad ended up, after you left, had almost no choice but to offer your sister. But Theo... Oh, wait. No, Theo was in love, too. Okay. Well, then his people were also assassinated. The girl that he was into, she's gone, too. For some reason. He doesn't know why.
Which,
I don't know. The older of the two, I guess.
fine. Next in line. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah. They tell you the story and they say, now everything is in shambles. The entire Arcadian, what do you call that? Economy is in the air and people are waiting for us to figure out a solution. And then here you are, the solution. If you marry Theo again, everything will be restored. Then we can start focusing on this assassin guild people.
Can I quietly whisper to Terra?
I mean, yeah.
Want me to quietly. It's up to you. Leave you with the option. But I'm at your call if you.
No, I think I'd rather make us.
Aye, then just be careful what kind of scene you want to make for the people around you. I'll leave you to it.
She, like, you can see she has to really think about that for a second. Like, oh, there are a lot of other people around. I kind of turned to my dad. That is a lot of information, all at once, including several murders, and you just expect me to go back and into the same position as before, fix all of the problems again?
He just kind of snarls and he says, unfortunately for you, your mother was never able to bear a son, right? You don't have no brothers, do you?
All girls.
Yep. Your mother wasn't able to bear a son, so unfortunately we're stuck with you. You're the daughter of a noble Arcadian family lineage. It is your duty to come home. And why is this little rat thing keep calling you Terra? And then he calls you by your real name, which eludes me at the moment.
Asteria.
Asteria.
I'll go into my backpack. I'm gonna pull out the engagement ring, and I set it on the table and kind of just gently push it towards Theo. That's not mine. He
gasps, like he's shocked. Even though you guys have had conversation, you guys didn't really enjoy your time. In this moment, he's acting like he's really, like, I don't know. What's the word I'm looking for? Woeful or into you or in love with you, I guess? Yeah.
Smithen?
Yeah. He looks at you and he says, after the other girl that I was into got assassinated, it showed me what I was really missing in life. And he's just like, stability and a beautiful woman by my side. And he looks up at you with
after
starry
her
eyes.
and my sister, right? That's what you meant?
You say that again? Let me comprehend that.
After the other girl that you were in love with, and then also after my sister.
He says, yes, losing the
Right.
both of them was...
Just making sure.
Losing both of them was very traumatic for me. And it made me realize that what I really want is you, Asteria. And he says, I have trained to be the finest swordsman that I can be. And he like pulls out his sword, but like really clumsily, like he obviously doesn't have much experience with it.
Yeah.
Balin chuckles at that sight.
Theo, I can only guess, and I give a very pointed look towards my father. The reason for your change in given your says, but as I said before, we did talk about this many times. I left for, and I will not be used as a business transfer.
Remembering these conversations, a tear kind of comes to his eye, and he looks back at your father and he says, after my father died, I swore to your father that I would never leave your side, and I would look after you and protect you and love you unconditionally. And the dad just kind of like smiles almost, and he just goes, I will I will be there for you with whatever you need, Terra. Or Asteria. And then he goes, screw the family lineages in Arcadia. He's just like, I will follow you anywhere. And the dad just kind of rolls his eyes, looks back at Theo and tells him, he's just like, just make sure to get her home. I'm done here. I'm going to the resort. And then he walks off kind of like disappointed in Asteria. And he starts heading towards the exit. And Theo's just like, I will. And like a puppy dog, he looks up at Terra and he just like kind of does a little bow and he says, I will follow you anywhere. And he's just like, then where shall I wait for you?
Please don't.
He's just like, I just want you to know, Terra, that no matter where you go, I will be right there by your side. If
Did
that
my father pay you off? What is happening right now? Why are you being like this? He's not here. He's not listening. Can you just explain?
The question almost doesn't even faze him. He just keeps on going, like almost like he's charmed. Do you know?
Yep. Do I know neither of my parents, did they have magical capabilities? At least when I was there?
No, not particularly.
I
Your dad's gone. He's at the resort.
For the love of God, Theo, just sit down. Somewhere, anywhere. Just sit.
He just says, yes, ma'am, without question.
Oh
Just
my
sits
God.
down, with almost without breaking eye contact with you, just sits down and is just staring directly at you.
I absolutely just turn my back. Like, I'm not, if he's staring, I'm just the opposite direction.
Well, as far as pets go, he's already quite well trained. Perhaps he can be a pack mule.
Phelan! Yes!
Ben is right. Actually, he's goddamn right.
All right.
I mean, look, the guy's clearly a buffoon, but, you know, it could be handy to have another pair of hands to lug our stuff around. As the true warriors of the party, we shouldn't have to sully ourselves with such burdens.
Is Theo wearing any kind of armor?
Yes, but it's like very ornate, like obviously just built to look pretty armor. You know? Yeah.
That guy would not last like 5 seconds in a real battlefield.
No, he's not.
Hal walks
a
over
warrior.
to Theo.
How? Oh, you know what? This is okay. Go
You
ahead.
don't say that he's not a warrior, Terra.
So, you
Theo
consider yourself a warrior, huh?
And Theo just comes and he says, yes, where I am from, the bards sing tales. He's like, I once slayed a dragon.
Oh,
Hal looks at Terra and is just like, what? Yeah,
I'm just
dragons
shaking my
haven't
head.
been seen
Nope.
in these parts for hundreds of
so-
thousands of years.
He says, I, except the one that I slain. And then I killed it and now they sing about it where I'm from.
Hal cracks his knuckles and is like, let's fight then.
He looks at you and he goes, oh, I would never soil my clothes intertangling in combat with a creature so dirty as you. And he's like looking
And
at
as
the
he
mud on
says
your boots and
that,
stuff.
Hal throws a punch. Dang it.
can I intercept it?
All right. You throw a punch, and it lands square in the face. You knock him out of his chair onto the
Can I
floor.
intercept it?
Can you intercept it? I mean,
Yeah.
I guess if you want to go lunging across the table and try to intercept it.
Right. It does serve to nullify damage, but I think that
Yeah.
he's giving like
So you jump across the
Damage.
table and catch Hal's hand, or I don't know. You intercept it, but you do so with your own face.
Why are
and
you
Hal
intercepting it?
please, how don't. He's just a man madly in love, or I don't know. I don't give a shit actually.
So
toughening him up.
while you guys are talking, he like already stood up and goes to throw a punch at Hal and just
fuck.
misses so hard and ends up falling and kind of tripping over the chair and landing over here. And he stands up and looks at Terra and he goes, "Oh, Asteria," and gets all like nervous and he's like, And he just stands there just like a deer in the headlights and doesn't know what to do.
I cast Prestidigitation, make his armor look really dirty.
A nice touch. Perhaps he's more accustomed to punching dragons in the face. Perhaps the height difference threw him off a little bit.
He says, yes, exactly what the point he said. That is exactly it. Normally when
the
I
size
punch
difference.
dragons, it's very deadly. The dragon I killed was with one punch. That was all
I
it
come
took.
back. Hal comes over and he puts his hand on his shoulder and like squeezes really tight and he goes, "I like him. Let's keep him."
His armor looks really dirty, and after Hal puts his hands on him, you can you can visibly see goosebumps appear up his body, like he's grossed out. And he just goes, I need a shower. This is these clothes, they cost more than this inn. And he's like over here now cleaning himself off at this table, dusting himself off.
I just keep using prestidigitation to re-dirty it.
Like every time. Every
just to
time he
freak him out.
wipes, he'll go wipe his other sleeve, and he looks at his other sleeve, and it's just even dirtier than the last time. He just goes, "Ugh, I knew coming to this continent was a terrible idea, this filthy continent." Scrubbing himself.
You could go home. It's not as dirty.
He says, "For you, Asteria, there's no place on Earth that is going to be too dirty for me to not follow you. Wherever you go, I will follow you."
Hal looks
No
at
matter
Terra and
what.
he goes, I could roar really loud and make him so frightened he doesn't want to come follow us.
I just don't understand.
I shall tell you what, if one of your friends can best me in traditional one-on-one, just, I don't know, not combat, but just like a sparring match, I guess.
Theo, I could best you on one-on-one.
He's
Hal
like,
hits the table and is like, let's see it.
I would never hit a lady, especially not one is dainty and soft and thin arms as you, with your delicate petite figure. He just goes on and on about I don't know, demasculating you, if that's the term. I don't know what the term I'm looking for is, but do you know what I mean?
Objectifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just
Terra,
says, if one of your
we
friends
really
can
have
best
to bring
me in
her out.
combat, then I shall trust you to go off with them, and I shall follow from a close distance.
That's not. That doesn't fix the problem. I mean, take a pick. Any of them could best you.
He goes,
Theo,
I
you're
take
not
the
a
small
fighter,
one.
Theo.
And he points to Felix. He goes, the small
Excellent choice.
one. I'll take that one. Step forward, dirty little animal man. Let us do
I'm
noble
just gonna-
combat.
I'm gonna look up in Terra and say, "Are you sure you want me to do it?"
Why not you?
Alright, bladesman against bladesman, I suppose. I'm not happy about this, not one bit, that's for sure. I'll just step up,
Just knock him
sneakily.
out. It's non-lethal. Just knock him out. Teach him that we're perfectly capable.
I will whisper to Felix, just knock him out, and we live in here and left and live in here.
I'm gonna see if I can throw Theo off his game though by unsheathing the sword behind my shoulder and just the cape that covers his missing right arm. He kind of just looks towards it and he says, I hope you don't mind finding someone who's a little bit elderly and is missing a few pieces. That'd still be alright for you, right?
He goes, oh, that's perfect. I couldn't think of a better opponent.
I imagine he prefers that kind of opponent.
Alright, let's get this over with.
He says, but no blades. This is a good old, I don't know, fisticuffs. And he puts up his hand.
Alright then.
So, just go ahead and roll a strength, and we'll just do a straight up, strength roll against each.
Strength check? Bullshit, I'm gonna use a luck point on that.
All right.
Here, hang on.
Please.
Where is Lucky? Oh wait, we counted as the long rest, right?
I mean, you guys long rested last game. We slept.
Okay, thank goodness. I'm gonna re-roll that strength check. Fuck, it's worse.
The Theo bests you in combat, not participating with a sword, instead participating with hands, threw you off, and he just kind of climbs on top of you and just smothers your little tiny frame, little 2 or 3 foot frame.
Theo, get off of him.
Ah, you see, I did it. I win. You know what that means? It means that none of these fine folks are strong enough to defend you. Therefore, I will follow you forever, wherever you go, for eternity even.
Hal steps up again and says, "You pick on someone a little bigger than you," and again just goes and throws. He actually goes into a rage and then
Leave this with me.
throws a punch.
No, there's no need for that. How? Leave this to me.
Well, too late. Already did it. Oh,
Right.
Guys,
Right.
please.
So,
Don't make me hit him.
Please, Beth Hal.
Is that what stops everything? Terra has to get him in order
It
to
actually
stop?
beats everyone in combat.
well, Hal throws
my
his punch in rage and misses him, and Theo kind of just like steps out of the way clumsily, where he's like he trips, but it was just perfect enough to dodge Hal's fists. And then while Hal wasn't looking, he like jumps on his back and takes him to his knees. He says, "Aha! See? None of your friends are as strong as I, the Dragon Killer. I shall defend you no matter where you go, forever. Even if you think you can run away, you can't, because your dad has put a tracker on you ever since you called him."
Wait, on what?
Oh,
What
I wasn't
tracker?
supposed to say that.
Oh, too late. You said you'd do anything for me. Let's go. Come on, Theo. What tracker?
When you reached out to your dad, he paid the Grand Mages Council a lot of money, with my money, matter of fact, to put a tracer spell on you. So whenever you use your magical sign or whatever, we can have a vague little estimate of where you are. But don't tell him I told you that. Pretend like you don't know that. Oh, that was close.
I mean, look, he's already bested 2 of our fighters. Clearly, he's quite skilled, and luck has nothing to do with it. I'd say just let him tag along. As I mentioned, we could use a pack mule.
Valen, please no. Bring him around will like just slow us down. You know that.
He will die.
Then win-win.
Yeah, he will probably die.
No, because then my father will sound worse than him.
Is that how love works in your country?
That's how my father business deals.
He looks to
you
Valen.
are-
He says, "I agree
you
with
are
this one. Quite wise for a small brain pointy, I must say."
You cannot keep calling them that.
He
Right,
laughs.
young guy. You want a
That's
challenge?
right.
You got yourself a challenge.
You want to take me on too? He cracks his knuckles.
Come on. Bring it on. Do your best or worst.
All right, step to the floor. And he kind of like gets over here.
I will take off my armor, showing my metallic arm and my prosthetic arm. I make your show.
He just looks at Terra and he says, "Why do you travel with people that are missing arms? Why are all these people missing arms?"
That's a good question. That's a good question.
To be fair, I only knew about the one, but also he's very talented.
All right. Well, Theo and Jin step to the floor. It's a very tense and epic moment. Theo says some ridiculous speech before rolling his strength check. Then Jin, if you want to roll a strength check too. Oh, there you go. All right. He rushes at Jin, but Jin is I don't know, strong or quick or whatever, and he ends up missing his punch, and Jin does some crazy samurai move and takes him to the ground almost effortlessly, almost without even moving. He falls to the ground. He just says, "Oh," and he's so
Right.
embarrassed, and he stands up.
Matter settled. You stay here.
He just looks and he says, "Only if that's what Asteria wants." And he looks to you. He says, "My love, what do you want?"
Have I not made it perfectly clear what I want from you?
He just says, "Well, to be honest, it doesn't really matter what you want. I will follow you to the end."
I knew that too. Okay.
And he goes off on his little speech again. But then he sits down and he goes, "But I understand love goes both ways. So I shall follow you from a distance. Just know that no matter where you are, I will always be right around the corner, just waiting for the opportunity to come in and protect you. Even if
You're
it's just
going to
out of
get
sight.
killed out there.
Or outside
You-
of the
you
window, in
understand
the
that?
bush, or anywhere."
No, absolutely not.
He just says, I will wait for you here then."
You wait right there,
Right-
on that seat.
"Right here?" He points to
Don't
the stool.
move.
He says, "As you wish, my queen." or my love, my love. I will never move. I will not leave this stool until you command otherwise. I swear it. And he just sits
Is my
down
ring still
and
sitting
looks.
on the table, or did someone pick it up?
I don't know. It's probably still on the table. He just sits there staring at you with that same kind of just like puppy look on his face, just quietly in the chair.
Theo, have you ever dealt with Lord Myseer?
Lord who?
Look, I wrote the name out how it sounded when you said it. Did I write it correctly? Definitely not.
You're talking about the Lord of Crystal Shoals, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Nasir.
Nasir.
Yep.
Definitely didn't get that one.
And he
Nasir.
just looks and he goes, "Oh, Lord Nasir, I haven't done much business with him, but I do know one thing. He is a prideful man, but being the lord of such a happy place like this tends to make you grow soft. That is my knowledge. I hear he is very good looking, almost as good looking as I, if an elf could ever be."
Okay. Won't you have a drink?
He says, "Yes, my love, I will have a drink." And he like waves the drink over and starts sipping. All right. Well, with that, you guys start collecting yourselves and getting ready to go. Was there anything you guys wanted to do or discuss before you left the inn?
Just quietly murmurs to himself, rubbing under his hater. Reminds me of my.
I sure hope not.
Oh, I hope it wasn't this awful when I was.
Well, we can only hope. But just to be clear on our plan for the day, we are attempting to go speak with the Lord and see if he's able to be merely convinced that we're in need of his artifact more than he at the moment.
Aye, that's our plan. And then, if we're able to get it, we need to rendezvous with the moon to do it, and then we need to find the temple with the heart of the jungle.
All right. Well, I've personally had my fill of the day already speaking with nobles. Perhaps one of you, and he'll like look over his shoulder at Terra or Anastasia. What was the name that he dropped?
Asteria.
Asteria. Perhaps they can lead this charge.
She does not respond to you right now.
Why you forget the babe?
Well, are we ready to go back out to the town?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Back at town. Let me see who is all here. I think everybody's here. Look at that. All right, you guys walk out of the inn. It's a beautiful day in Crystal Shoals. What would you guys like to do?
Right. We should head to, like, we can, evoke Valen's name, like family Elundir wants a knock on time to speak with the
remember I
Lord.
found that cave last time.
Aye, there was a small under the keep, I believe, that you pointed out, Hal.
That can certainly prove useful should negotiations not go the way we hope. We wish to get that out of the way first, and then perhaps take a look at what this town has to offer before we make our way back into the jungle.
Aye.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So are we traveling to the keep then?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. There you go. Off. Then they're off. All right.
Finally.
There you go. Off to the keep. Let me activate the. All right. As you enter the Crystal Shoals keep, you're greeted by the magnificence of magnificence. I don't know why my brain just farted so hard right there.
Yeah, magnificent.
Of a pyramid-shaped sandstone temple, echoing the Etherean Empire's power with black and gold banners adorning the high ceiling. The air carries a coastal essence, blending with the exotic scent of nearby tropics. The floor and walls, made from sandstone, speckled with shimmering crystal particles, reflect dazzling light. Ahead of the grand hallway leads to a majestic throne, promising further wonders, and at the heart of imperial authority with this radiant sanctuary. All right, that was confusing to read, but here we are.
Position where, though I would love to drop the Valen house name, I'm not entirely sure that would do us any good. As you've seen in previous encounters, some of the other nobles have been misinformed about my family, which can lead to difficult conversations. So I can certainly attempt to, but I'm not entirely sure it would be of a benefit to us in this scenario. So perhaps either Jin Shi attempt to make the introductions with his position, and then go from there.
Yeah, I thought about that, like as a second option. I thought that noble a conversation could prove useful since you know nobles only respect other nobles. But there is no other way. So I will take a step forward and knock at the door.
The door is already wide open. Your companions are already inside.
Yeah, it's because my map is all black. You have to remember that.
Oh, okay.
So
Why is your map all black, I wonder?
I don't know. It's like all black.
Token
Like
vision?
I can see. No, I have token vision. It's like just all black because yeah, it's God will use it. I think.
Make sure you're the owner of your token. Did that help anything?
Let me no. Same as ours.
Is your hardware acceleration on or off for your browser?
Can you say that again, please?
Is your hardware acceleration on or off for your browser?
I think yes, because I play other game at Foundry and it works like normal. Like I can see maps and all, but like this game specifically, I can't see shit.
That is so strange, and I don't know why that is. Because on my side, all your vision, everything are enabled. I will try to troubleshoot if somebody, I guess, wants to just stream in the meantime. And then Jin, let's me and you get together one of these days and sit down and see if we can figure it out.
Sure, we can. I'm free like most of the day since it's a period of no classes in my college. So yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Sure.
All right. But we're here. Was Jinshi planning on
Howdy,
stepping
Lord.
forward?
What's cooking?
Lord Nasir says, "Oh, I hope bacon. Oh, I hope they cook bacon again."
I like bacon too.
Lord, I suppose.
He takes a step forward and he just goes, and what do we have here? I don't see very many of whatever you are around these parts. He's looking at Hal.
Lieutenant Jinshi.
Hal bows, sort of, and is like, lion folk, originally from the Finger Isles.
The
Then
Finger
I
Isles.
rescued Arcadia from evil wizard, and then I was teleported into the future.
Lord Nasir just goes, the Finger Isles. I hear they're like a less beautiful Crystal Shoals. He says, welcome.
Well, I was kidnapped there when I was 6, so don't really remember.
He says, that's lovely. Then he looks at Terra and he goes, oh, and a human. He's like, I could smell you walking in. Oh, how lovely. He kind of strolls past looking at Valen and Felix and Jinshi. He's like, we have a pretty diverse platter of people here. You guys must be here for vacation?
Actually, no. We are here in quest, I could say. By the way, Lieutenant Jinshi.
He says, he looks and he goes, then you must be with the Adventurers Guild. You must have got the notice I posted. Yes. Well, welcome. It's about time that you showed up.
I'm sorry. You posted something on the Adventurers Guild?
He says, yes, we've been dealing with a bit of a problem. We posted a notice on the Adventurers board, but something weird has been going on. All of my men have been sleeping in lately. I don't know what it is. But because of that, we don't have hardly many men to go and actually handle anything. He just like, but you don't look that sleepy. He turns and he's just like, that must mean you're here to solve the problem, yes?
We are healthy, I guess. And I will, look at Vaden.
I did not hear that.
I didn't hear that at all either.
What'd you say?
No, yeah, totally. Of course, like the problem with the sleeping disease, I think Moon Harbor is being affected as well. So we are here to deal with this problem before it spreads even further into the Empire.
He looks at you and he goes, "But what about the pincers? I don't see how any of this correlates. You're here for the pincers, yes?"
I'm sorry.
Ah, he rolls his eyes
No.
and he goes, "The Adventurers Guild, what a bunch of schmucks." He walks back up. He says, "Well, if you're not here for the pincer and you're here for solving some sleep problem, I can't help you." He says, "I would try the alchemist. Get some slumber potions."
I think we can deal with both problems, I guess.
He just rolls his eyes and he says, "Look, I'm paying 300 coin a person to go and deal with my pincer problem. The job is yours if you want it to look like capable adventurers."
Oh, you said pincers. Yeah. Oh, yes, of course. Sorry, we misheard. That is exactly what we're here for.
Ah, yes, finally, someone with some sense in here. Come forth, my boy. And who might you be?
I am Lord Valen Alundir of House Alundir. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Lord Nasir.
He looks at you and he goes, "I didn't realize your house was still around. I would have figured that people would have ripped you apart by now." And he looks and he goes, "But you don't look like you're very tainted by dark magic."
Oh, but of course not. I've been trying to tell all the lords and ladies in various nearby towns that there's a rumor and misinformation going around about my father's dealings. It's unfortunately put a rather nasty stain on the house name, but I can assure you they are mere speculation and rumor. In fact, the investigations into the scenario have proven false. So, rest your head at ease. House Eilundir is as noble and capable as ever.
He looks and he goes, "Well, if that's the case, then why hasn't your dad come out and made a statement?" He says, "All prideful elves own their mistakes, and if it was just a mistake or misunderstanding, he should come forth, and he should say that."
Yes. Well, my father is not currently in a position to do that.
He kind of looks at you with like this look. He says, "Okay, so your father didn't do it, but he's nowhere to be found or not in a position to come forth with a statement."
My late father is unfortunately unable to make such a claim.
Ah, late. I forget what happened. How did he go?
Peacefully. Now, can we begin our arrangement here with these pincers you've mentioned?
He goes, "Oh yes, yes. Well, we've got some reports that there's been pincers spotted at the beach. Nasty little creatures. Normally they never show up during our peak seasons. They normally only come in the wintertime, but yet here it is, middle of summer, and they're down at the beach terrorizing people. Because of that, I've had to close the beach. And the combination of that and then the murder at the resort and me having to close the resort, it's just wreaking absolute hell on our wonderful summer plans here at Crystal Shoals." He says, "But you look like capable adventurers, and I will pay you each 300 gold pieces if you can go and take care of this pincer problem."
Did you say they're at?
He looks, he goes, "Oh yes, how tragic." He's like, "I sent one of my royal guards over there to still investigate. It happened last night. Very terrible stuff."
Yeah, truly.
He says, "I think when I was at the Adventurers Guild, they also posted a notice for that. I think if you guys wanted to make some extra coin, solving the murder might be a good way."
I think we would be beyond honored to help you with your difficult situations. I wonder if we're able to take care of both of those terrible events. Would it be too much trouble to ask a favor of you?
And he goes, "Oh, if you help me get my town back up and running before the peak summer months, I will happily give you whatever you ask for." He's like, "What is it that you desire?"
Could I get that in writing? We mentioned earlier the sleeping curse that has befallen the city and seems to be moving. And while we also seek to fix that situation, we think you may have something in your possession that could help us move forward in that goal.
And he just looks and he says, and that is?"
The heart of the jungle.
Absolutely not. Get out. And he turns his back to
You
you
said anything.
and walks towards his chair and sits down and kind of
It's
chuckles.
for the better of your people too.
He
Because
just
while the curse is prominent in the previous city whose name I don't remember off the top of my head,
Moon Harbor.
Moon Harbor, it is moving. It is expanding and it will come here.
he just kind of chuckles and he says, "This is ridiculous. A sleep curse," he says. "This is nonsense. It's just laziness. Ever since I started
So-
serving moonshine at the resort, all my men have been lazy."
So, can I just assume that the Lords of Crystal Shoals, bearers of the heart of the jungle, have no word at all?
Has no what?
Has no word? Cannot keep up his promises?
I mean, did he promise you anything? I don't think.
Like, he promised that he would award us anything
He
if
said
we deal with
anything.
the problem with the pincers at the beach. So,
He looks at you and he's like, "I don't think you understand. The heart of the jungle is an artifact passed down my family for generations. It's
I
something
don't
that
think-
we hold very deep and is a core staple of my family's rule over the Crystal Shoals." He says, and then a couple strangers, adventurers, bounty hunters, if you will, come into my keep and ask me to take my family heirloom so they can solve some sleep curse. He's like, "This sounds ridiculous."
I don't think you understand, Mister. Half of Moon Harbor has been already affected by the curse, and you see that it's spreading to here, to Crystal Shoals. We deal with these pincers on the beaches. You hand us the heart of the jungle. We solve this problem. We get back your relic, your heirloom to your family. You can still keep, I think. And everyone, it's a win-win situation.
He just kind of looks at you and he says, "That is a pretty tall ask for you just to ask without even rolling a persuasion check or anything of similar nature."
Who gets to roll the persuasion check?
He says, "The one that makes the ask," and then he looks at Terra.
Go ahead, Terra. Can I, help her because I speak?
Why don't you all roll me a persuasion check?
I trust you, Terra.
Everybody in the room, plead your case to the Lord.
Fuck.
I will use bountiful luck to have Valen re-roll his thing.
All right.
Oh wait, actually,
let's
hang on.
see.
Wait.
You
Wait,
got
hang on.
13 plus 8 plus 7 plus 19. Nice.
Yeah, there we go. Valen, you can re-roll.
And then Valen gets to re-roll. Ooh,
Nice.
21. All right, so you guys have a total persuasion score of 68. Someone remember that number.
68.
Right, 68. Next to 69. Nice.
And then he is going to roll. Those persuasion checks were 20s, right? Yes. I'm sorry, I had to just say it out loud. He is going to go, and listen to what you say. You got, what was your number? 68?
68.
Ooh.
Yep.
He thinks about it. He goes, very compelling argument that was from each of you, but just barely. He turns and he goes, "I will not give you the heart of the jungle, but I will let you use it in my company if you need it, if it will help you." That is the offer. And only once.
I think that's the best offer he will give us. It's like his heirloom family.
Well, just to be clear, as far as we are made to believe, this gem is meant to be a key, perhaps, of some kind in accessing the temple. Would this not require our good lord to accompany us out into the forests?
Sure will.
He looks at you again. Will you roll an intimidation check for me, Valen, to see if that scares him?
I mean, I can certainly try.
He goes, "The jungles are rather ravenous this year." Then he goes, "I'll tell you what. If you complete my 2 quests and get my town back operating, I will let you hold on to the heart of the jungle, but I will be expecting it back. If I don't get it back, you'll have the entire might of the Empire at your throat. Do I make
Well,
myself clear?
Crystal Shoals clear, I believe.
His attitude goes more lighthearted. He goes, wonderful. And he goes back and sits on his throne. And he just goes, well, now then, you have work to do. And he, like, shoos you off.
All right, more killing must be done of pests, shall we?
Right, let's go.
Would call us a damn exterminators at this point.
We can open a company of, I don't know, pest
Alright.
control or something.
So before we head out of the Royal Keep, is there anything anybody wants to do before we leave?
Not really. Does anyone else want to do anything? Because I don't have anything else to do here.
We
Well-
can try to break into that first door.
I mean, Hal is more than welcome to do whatever Hal wants to try to do. I don't think Valen has any interest of breaking into the keep of the Lord they've just come into an agreement with in front of his eyes. But, everyone can do their own thing.
Fine.
Would it serve us well to visit the actual guild itself and acquire the documentation for the quests that have been posted in case we need to? I guess would the group know, like, if we wanted to complete these quests and turn them in for the reward, is it turned back into the guild that's been commissioned to hire that out, or would it still be back to the Lord to get the funds?
None of you as adventurers have ever had much interaction with the Adventurers Guild, so you just know that they kind of complete quests for people. That's what they do.
Okay, then Valen would suggest that since it's not far off, perhaps we should pay the gilded visits. And I don't know if we need to submit ourselves as an official adventuring party. Should we decide to continue to earn gold in this fashion? It seems wherever we go to complete our main objective, we're constantly tasked to do other menial tasks. We might as well get paid for it.
Yeah, and a contract would serve as well if, if Lord this year does not keep his word.
Unless there's any objections, perhaps we should make our way there first.
All right. Do we all want to go to the guild?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Let me activate the scene, then I have to pull up where it is on my All right. As you enter the Adventurers Guild, you are immediately enveloped in the essence of untold adventures. The grand stone hall lit by torches leads you towards a figure standing before a bulletin board cluttered with notices that are pinned to it. This man, surrounded by an otherworldly aura with eyes that glow with ethereal light, is not merely a human, but something far more. His presence commands a space as he turns to greet you. He looks upon you, and you hear him say, "Welcome." And as he does, with the same kind of voice that you guys heard Barnabas use, it just reverberates through the room and through your bodies. It's a very powerful voice, but this one a lot softer and more. He says, "Welcome."
Oh, hello there, lad. Thank you for the kind welcoming.
He says, "You are not adventurers."
I suppose not. I guess we're more pest control than adventurers, or maybe adventurous pest controllers.
He stands up off the ground and hovers toward, and he stops, and he just says, "But you are strong." And he looks at Hal, and as he looks at you, Hal, you feel as his eyes meet your eyes, him just within the matter of a second or two, just almost downloads all of your memories. And then he looks at Felix, and then he looks at Valen and Terra and Jinshi, and he says,
I will close my eyes.
You try to close your eyes, but there's this overwhelming sense where you can't. You're almost drawn in. And he reads all of your guys' pasts, and he just says, "Strong indeed and unique." He just says, "Important in ways yet untold." He says, "Welcome. Are you here to become adventurers? Are you here to join the guild?"
I suppose so.
If it will allow us access to some of the contracts that have been handed out to you by the Lord here, then I suppose yes.
He laughs, and he just says, "Adventuring guilds can be found in nearly every city of Valmarder, and recently settling into other cities around the continent." He says, our purpose is to help those in need by offering strong individuals to solve problems otherwise unsolvable. He says, when you become adventurers and join the guild, you will have access to all the contracts in any of the guilds. And he says, do you accept?
May I ask what other kind of amenities might come by officially joining the guild?
He looks at you and he says, well, when you join the guild, here it's not just a guild. It's a family of like-minded adventurers. Throughout your travels, you will meet lots of other adventurers. And the real amenity here is just contracts and a consistent flow of work.
And the friends we make along the way.
And the friends you make along the way. Correct. And you get this gratification of helping folks that have no one else to turn to but us.
I mean, sure, but we have already been in the business of helping those less fortunate as it is. I was hoping you might have, I don't know, craftsmen under your employ, things that we wouldn't be able to access otherwise. And Nicole's webcam is blue for me.
Yep.
Oh, her webcam is fine for
It's
me.
not for me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it's on my end. Anyway, is there a joining fee, any kind of stipulations we must uphold to maintain our membership?
He says, no, being an adventurer is not something that is sought after, but instead something that is given. He's like, you don't know it yet, but you have already been chosen. There's no membership fees. There's no requirements outside of always carry the Adventurers Guild in your best interest and represent us in a positive way. He's like, I will know.
That sounds intimidating.
He says, so, are you ready to actually start getting paid for your quests?
That would be good for a change.
I mean, he has not presented a reason to not join, so I don't see the harm.
He says, hold out your hand.
Wait first.
And
You say
stand in a line.
we were chosen. How exactly this choosing proceeds works?
He just looks and he says, it is not your time to know that yet. He just says, destiny has greater plans for the 5 of you.
Like what?
Right, I guess then.
And he just looks at Hal and says, one day, soon, you shall know. But today, you are not ready. Instead, today you will
think I'm
join
ready.
the Adventurers Guild. And he says, hold out your hand.
Suppose so. And he'll offer his one arm.
You all offer your hands, and without even moving, you kind of feel like a slight searing pain in your palm. And then you look down, and you're branded. There's like a slight glowing orange logo of some sort that's the Adventurers Guild logo. And with that, you have access to the board. And he moves aside. He says, if you have any questions, please.
I don't know all of you, but I think that this was the very moment when all of us got Warlock levels. Pacts. Pact to Magica and all that stuff.
Oh,
So, the great and powerful Nyoku Do sits and hovers over and just kind of like waves you on to the board. The bulletin board, like I said, it's standing there with all sorts of like notes and stuff pinned to it in the back of the place. And if you guys notice, if you walk up to it, that little logo of like the sign is actually an interactable item. It's basically a chest. You guys can open that up and pull the notices out of it, quest notices. Quest notices are, as you guessed it, a starting point for quests. Whenever you guys visit a town or you guys are doing anything, if you want to do the little side quests, which if you haven't noticed, usually are tied into the main quests, this is how you find them and get started down those. As you guys go to like walk near the sign, you notice it has like a force field where you guys can't touch it or interact with it, but your palms kind of begin to glow, and as you do, the force field kind of lets you.
strange and powerful magics. I've heard stories and tales of things like these before. Wonders and myths, but I've never actually seen it so up close before.
No, it's not that powerful. I'm sure after a bit more training, I could easily bypass this kind of security system if I chose to.
You just hear Nyoku
Oh.
do chuckle. All right. And then when you pick up a notice, same with most notes, if you want to go ahead and roll it in chat and somebody can read it for us.
The first quest Felix has picked up is Uninvited Guests by Lord Nasir, and he wants us to find the pincer fiends that have been attacking guests, locate and destroy their nest, and he promised he would reward us 300 gold pieces each.
That
Imagine
is
there's like
rather
some
interesting
quest
wording.
noise came up, but and it like pops up on your.
A new hand touches the beacon.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, hear me and obey.
An interesting point of order is that the reward specifies 300 gold pieces given to each participant who solves this case. Just as a point of order, should we ask your betrothed to accompany us and simply keep his reward as a part of our own?
Damn it, really?
If he fights with us, he should get his own share after he has worked for.
If he lives.
If he
That-
Can we accidentally
If
kill
to
him?
Live.
That's
I-
a completely valid point, but we will not allow him like to just be slaughtered. He's a dick, sure, but like let the poor guy live. He can, have a family, not
He-
with hysteria.
He won't though. He is under some influence. I don't know what exactly. Are there love
He can
potions?
fuck himself
Are
off.
those a thing?
In a world of magic, I can only imagine.
There's something is wrong there, and he's not going to leave until whatever it is wears off. Or is I don't know. But he's not going to just leave. I'm gonna sit here.
So,
Might as well be useful, I guess.
if he's under influence of some magic, like, is there anything like you can do? Can I suggest something? Like we can just let him be affected by the curse, by the sleep curse.
I mean, if
He
it
leaves
might
somehow.
not. You mean the sleeping curse, or whatever's
Yeah.
wrong with
Yeah,
him right
the-
now?
Yeah, the sleeping curse. Like we can, it will live somehow.
I mean, maybe, but that'll wind.
Anyway, we have this pincer problems. Like why there is fiends on the beaches? Anyway.
As you guys are talking, the other notice on the board also kind of sways and catches your attention.
The murder one.
If you want, Jin, you can roll that so we can see it in chat.
Yeah, let me just find.
Should pop
Here.
up the chat.
Issued by Weston Winran. This guy, or this girl. There has been a murder at the Crystal Cove Resort. Help find the murderer. 300 gold pieces each. Crystal Cove Resort, Crystal.
All right.
Maybe we ought to find the murderer first. Could help people in the resort a little bit more, and who knows? Maybe the resort will give us a free, nice room if we help them out.
I may agree with the later sentiments, but on that point of order, should we not use our day wisely? Perhaps we should deal with the pincers first, and come nightfall, when we're ready for rest, we can pull that string, so to speak.
I suppose so.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah, I mean, things are a more urgent problem than, a murderer. That's something he's trying to say, but yeah.
Well, you guys have accepted all the side quests in Crystal Shoals. And there's really nothing left to explore in this Adventurers Guild unless you have questions for Nyokudu. Are we all ready to head back out?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. You exit the Adventurers Guild and you're back out in the beautiful, shiny early morning of your day in Crystal. What would you all like to do?
And we need to find these pincer fiends. Perhaps we start looking around the keep first. Maybe around that cave Halov pointed out earlier. Would that be where they're hiding?
That makes sense since we are looking for some kind of nest.
Or we can head down to the shoreline and, see if it connection, but it'd be a good bet.
Well, Hal, you scouted the area when we first arrived. Did you make notice of any pincer fiends, as this note entails?
Let me see here. I can't see the screen. It's all
Okay.
black.
Yours is all black too?
Yeah.
Fuck.
I do not know.
Let me roll for some. Oh, now it's back. There I am. Let me. Can I roll? Like I'm just trying to recall. I don't know, an investigation of when I was down at the beach. If I saw any tracks or anything.
You don't really recall anything, but if you want to stroll down to the beach and investigate, you certainly can.
All right, I'll do that.
Well, I imagine we would all go at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you're afraid of the beach. All right.
And then I'm problems with beach ain't one.
So as you get to the beach, you notice the cave, and you notice that it's a lot bigger of a cave than you anticipated. But upon just looking at it from a distance, you can't really tell anything too crazy about it.
Are there any signs of the pincer fiends as we head to the beach?
Why don't you roll a check of let's see.
Of some sort. You want investigation, perception?
Whatever
Ooh,
you can justify.
Would a survival check tracking for like pincer fiend like tracks on the sand work?
Sure.
Ooh, I can do that. Here, I'll do that. 14 for me.
Oh, you got a
for
14. Oh, okay. All right. So as Hal and Terra kind of look around, they're not deducing anything, but Felix, using his survival skills, deduces that the sand is kind of, I don't know, like parted in a certain direction, looking like a subtle trail. And it is. It's leading directly from the water line into the cave. And as you approach the cave, Felix, you just smell the most horrendous rotten fish smell emitting from the cave.
I could never get used to that. Sea life is not for me. I ain't got no sea legs. I thought the poor lands and corpses of Maceduma smelled awful. I think we might have found our pincers.
That smell is certainly fishy.
If you look at the way the sand is parted and the way it leads over to the ocean, over to the cave, judging by the smell, I wouldn't be shocked if that's where they keep their food.
All right. Well, who wants to step into the dark, fishy cave first?
I'll let you and me first, Jinchi, and let the others follow behind us.
Well, hang on a moment. Hey Hal, I think we have use of you.
All right, I'm coming.
I'm not sure how your kind handles fish, but I've been told. Well, perhaps I'm making this up.
Cats like fish, right?
A very racist statement, but yes, I do.
All right.
Right.
Well, with
me
Hal
and-
leading the
Me
way,
and Hal first, then Valen, Terra, and Felix, you stand behind to protect them if anything.
Powerful Wolfsbane!
all right, we enter the cave. Let me activate it and then scroll to my part. It's a little louder than I want. If I turn down the music, does it turn down for you guys as well?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that is very nice. All right. All right. As you step into the beachfront cave, the crunch of sand and rocks underfoot marks your entry into a less welcoming domain. The cave is enveloped in darkness, its damp air clinging to your skin, a stark contrast to the warmth of the sunlit beach outside. The smell of rotting fish is overwhelming, pervading every breath, which is a grim reminder of the decay. Amidst the gloom, the eerie symphony of skittering and clicking sounds reverberates off the cavern walls, hinting at unseen creatures lurking within. All right. And with that, what would you guys like to do?
Well, first, I'd like to point out that what may look like floating dust particles in the air are not actually dust particles, should you decide to zoom in further.
They are
Okay.
crabs, little crabs.
Sounds like spiders.
They look like spiders, but they're crabs.
Spider crabs.
Spider crabs.
They're little tiny
Crab.
crabs.
Crab.
And as you walk
Um.
in, you notice that they're all like walking in with little bits of food scraps, and they're all kind of like almost single file, like going into the cave.
Can Hal do a nature check on his two, what are they? Dusk tails in his pouch to see what they like to eat?
Sure.
Or could I have Felix do it?
I mean, you can do it. What's your thought process on this?
Well, I want to see if I capture one of these crabs and put them in there, if they'll eat it or not, or if they'll like hang out and become best friends.
I mean, I guess you could do a nature check if you want. Oh, you already did a nature check. A 6.
I mean, I'll do one now that we've discussed exactly what I've rolled.
I guess
for.
I'll let you do another one.
Even worse.
You don't really know. You don't really know.
All right. I scoop up one of these crab spiders and I put him in my pouch with my dusk tails.
All right, you stuff the crab in. It's an extremely tight fit. Doesn't look like there's hardly much more space to go around. And you close your pouch, and you hold it there. Nothing immediate happens. It's pretty chill. So you put the pouch back on your pocket, and you just kind of wait.
Cool.
All right.
It's not dark enough where we can't see, right? It's like dim lighting.
It's dim lighting, yeah. I mean, even though like physically you guys can see ahead of you and you can see the enemies, just play it as like, you know, it's dark, it's dim. You might be able to see there's an outline of an enemy and something's going on, but you don't really know what it is until you get...
Right, well, you all know the game plan. How if you'd like to do the honors and take forward, Jinchi and I will be at your backs. Valen and Terra will be there behind us.
Okay. Oh. I have dark vision.
So you can see a little better than your friends.
I also have dark vision.
Then
I
you can,
also have dark vision.
then you can all see better than Terra.
I have dark vision.
It
As I
sucks
come
to
up
be human,
around this,
loser.
as I come around this corner, I do see a shadowy figure. I'm like, hold on, guys. I think it's a pincer.
You kind of hear it like gnawing on food or something, like just unsettling.
I think he already threw a javelin at it.
All right,
We're talking around.
you hit.
Is it
Their armor
23
class is 14. Yep, you hit.
3 damage. 6 damage.
All right, your javelin smacks the pincer, barely cracks through its shell, and hits it for 6 damage.
Okay.
And with that, they all get startled. And how do I do this?
As they all get startled, Hal looks at everyone and he goes, "We're having seafood tonight."
As bad as it does in here.
My quick encounter thing isn't like working the way it's supposed
Need
to.
I remind you, the flyer mentioned these were pincer fiends. Perhaps we should not consume devil meat.
Meat is meat.
Oh, there it is. I found it. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
There we go.
Hey.
Combat starts. All right, Felix, you're up.
In the back.
How is it? Oh, I can run up to it. Felix will look at the pincer and look over the Howloof and say, "Alright, so I'll keep them distracted for a little bit, but you need to back me up as soon as possible. I'm going in."
Okie dokie.
Alright, I'm going to swing my Holy Avenger Scimitar at it. 26.
You hit.
And then damage. 11 and also another +2 because dueling, so 13.
So 13 altogether. So you swing at him with your Holy Avenger Scimitar and slice him. His shell cracks. It screams. Little crab scream, whatever crab screams sound like, that's what it does.
Alright, I'm gonna do another extra attack.
Alright.
Quack! 28.
Alright, you hit again.
Who's doing that?
That's your Holy Avenger Scimitar, that's the sound
no.
it makes.
11 damage for that one.
Alright, you smack him again for 11 damage. And he is hurt.
Alright, that's gonna be my turn.
Alright, the pincer looks at you and does its little crab scream thing again. And it lunges at you with its massive. Hold on. Okay. Okay. He pinches with you with his pincer claws. He does not hit. He misses both of them.
I'm gonna use a superiority die to riposte and strike it.
All right.
All right. Sick. 17? I mean 13?
13 does not hit.
Darn it. All right.
But it was a cool deflection. All right. The next pincer does another little pincer growl and runs up to Felix. And he is going to pincer claws you. He also misses both of them.
You know what? I'm gonna try riposting again. See if I can land a riposte.
All right.
Damn it. That's so close. 12.
You don't. But once again, it was a cool deflection. All right, Jin.
Right. So, well, I can check. Well, I have. Thank you, Isaac, for making this consider moving right here. So I will. Thank you, man. Thank you for thinking about me. No one thought about me like this before.
I got you.
I will sheath my sword, and I will land a blow against the pincer here, because yeah, I'm a fighter. That's all I understand. And I will use Griffin. Yeah, I will. Griffin. So we roll for attack. If -5.
Oof, you do not hit.
Yeah, I like it.
That's funny for a moment, and it was about to be like, here we go.
I was running, my feet was not stable yet, but I will hit again this time. Not with 5.
Oh, no, I'll use my last luck point to let you re-roll that.
There's no need for that, man.
Round luck.
All right.
There's no need for that, man.
Crisis averted.
The power of luck compels you to do better.
Thank you.
Oh, God damn
You
it.
hit.
I thought that was a nat 20. That would be so funny. The presence of Felix brings out your critical hits again.
Right. 16 damage on this pincer right here. After my disastrous blows, like the sight of Felix in my eyes inspires me to correct the curse of my blow. So I land the last one.
True. You hit.
And that's it.
Howlwolf recklessly attacks as he runs up. And comes crashing down his mighty wolf jaw axe, and he says, "Bring out the butter."
You hit.
I was targeting that guy.
Oh, why did you move? What? Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Hold on. All right, there you go.
And then I will extra attack, and then again, and I say, "Get the bib." Deal 6 damage.
Oh, smack. Smack him up for 6 damage, and he is hurt. He is hurt bad.
And that's my turn.
All right. Valen.
All right. Valen's gonna try to do his best here. Yeah, would you take upside down, baby? Okay. All right, Valen will. I mean, these things look like they're on their last legs. But he'll see if he can. Oops, that's the wrong one. Does he feel like he can get a good line of sight for a shot of a ranged spell, or are his allies too much in the way?
It's kind of a risky shot, but Felix is kind of short. He might be able to get it over the top of him with a good roll.
Well, let's not risk fate here, shall we? He will go ahead and use his 30 feet of movement to come up and stand shoulder to shoulder with Jin Shi, and with a thrust of his rapier, he will go ahead and make a green flame blade attack first. So it's a target, and then what is it? This one. Okay, that macro doesn't work no more. All right. Let's go ahead and do Green Flame Blade.
Part 2 still works for you, right? Secondary spell I made.
Hey!
We'll find out.
Ooh. Damn, baby boy, look at
There's
you.
the Nat 20 we were looking for.
All right.
There we go. All right.
Let me-
So this guy takes 22 points of damage, or well, I don't know.
Cool.
I automatically. Okay, yeah, it is 22 points of damage.
Ooh, yeah.
Did you do with your credit? Oh yeah, I see. I gotcha.
Yeah,
Yes.
I forgot we
Crit
have other
double
things
it.
that happen.
No, that's cool. You slice him.
Um,
He drops to the ground.
all right,
Nice.
and as a part of the attack, flames then leap from this target to the adjacent target.
All right.
I got a lot of things happening here. Okay, and this guy will take.
I have a question. Since Veiling strike a critical hit, does the secondary damage like count as a crit as well, or no?
No,
No,
It usually
I don't think
doesn't. so that one takes 8 points of fire damage.
So. All right. Your fire damage like flies over to the other one and scorches him, and you smell the delicious smell of crab
Burnt crab.
cooking inside of its shell.
Delicious. Valen might assume. Chris does not like crabs, so. Well, without any more movement, I cannot push onto the second crab to finish it off. So he'll go ahead and end his turn, allowing Terra to wrap it up.
All right.
Terra's gonna do what she does best. Couple steps forward. I'm well within range, and yeah, I'm gonna kill it with an insult. I can't believe we keep being put in the situation where we're just pest control. And then it's a DC with
Okay.
No fucking way.
The crab doesn't look like it hears you.
Can I use my reaction?
Yeah. Depending, I guess, what the reaction is.
I want to cast Silvery Barbs. Disadvantage. Succeed an attack roll, ability check, saving throw, magically distract. Okay. And the triggering creature must reroll the d20 and use the lower roll.
All right.
Let me trigger that.
No way.
Are you kidding me?
No
fucking
way.
way.
Oh my
Wow.
god. It didn't work for once.
Who goes first? Felix. The other part of that Silvery Barbs is someone gets advantage on
That's wild.
the next attack, ability, or saving throw. So, Felix, please save me from this embarrassment.
Turn up about. I know. I added a new module that gave me 50% bonus.
Alright, I'm gonna attempt swinging at this thing.
All right.
21.
You hit.
Dablage. Plus another 2, so 11 slash.
All right. Well, it's just enough, and you kill it. Ending this combat encounter. Wow.
Nice.
He must not have been able to hear me. Maybe I need to stand a little bit closer to you all.
There we go. All right.
Hey, well, it's knocked down now. Well done, everybody. Let's keep moving.
Yep, we have a nest
Why
find.
does it sound like we're in a jungle?
I mean, it's a coastal
Oh,
jungle cave,
that's
more or
right.
less.
There you go.
Oh,
Now you're in the right one. Yep, there you go. All right. Nobody wants to loot the pincers?
Oh, Valen will.
Really?
All right, Valen, you loot the 2 pincer bodies.
Hal also grabs his javelin.
That's what you find. A pincer part and some monster blood, Valen.
Okay. I did only recently notice that you have in your compendium of features a crafting system. So I'm on the lookout for parts to craft stuff. So
Yeah. All right.
Using my great hearing, I hear a bunch of pincers in front.
You're close. You're just barely out of their range. They're all occupied on munching small fish remains that are all over the ground.
More over there. That's
I heard like probably 1,000 of them.
Well, maybe instead of throwing a javelin this time, one of the best can throw their fancy magics.
Mhm. Or I could just roar really loud.
I suppose that could work too.
Those
Okay.
defeats a pleasant surprise.
Aye.
Not if I delve.
Give me just a minute. I'm
All right.
working on something.
You're crouched.
I'm crouched. Okay, and I slowly sneak up on these guys, and let's see here. Oh, this is a bonus action. I bonus action roar the heck out of them.
This bonus action allowed especially make your choice within 10 feet of you that can hear you must succeed on a wisdom saving throw. So 10 feet of you would be this guy and this guy?
Yeah,
Okay. What do they do?
is that 10
Hey.
feet?
They make a wisdom saving throw. So what you figure out what DC they have to hit real quick. So that's this one's roll, and that's that one's roll. Equals, I mean, if it's 8 plus your proficiency bonus, like none of them matter. So they
it's
fail.
12.
And then what do? They become frightened of you to the end of your next turn.
Yep.
Okay, they're super scared of you, but in roaring, you alerted them.
Yeah. Hell yeah, I did.
Hell yeah.
Do any? So it was a very loud, it's a daunting roar. Are any of them like super scared?
I mean, the two that you hit are very scared, and because of that, they're now frightened.
All right. Who's up?
All right.
Felix up first. So, Felix is gonna isolate the one in front first and try striking it.
So frightened of you just means they have disadvantage against who they're frightened against, and they can't move towards them, right? They can't like,
Correct.
move in
Yeah.
that direction.
I rolled an 18.
You hit.
All right, plus another 2 for this. Whatever I roll, 12 slashing damage.
All right. You slash him for 12 damage.
All right, and then I'm gonna use an extra attack and strike again. 14.
Oh, so it has disadvantage on everything, not just on stuff
Yeah.
against you.
As long as I'm in sight of it,
I see. Okay.
which I am.
Cool. So you use your extra attack and you roll the 14. You hit again. Very good.
All right, I'm gonna roll the damage. 9 slashing damage.
All right. Chop chop. 9
Okay.
slashing damage.
All right, that'll be my turn.
All right, Jin. Is Jin with us?
You muted, Jin? Muted, Jin.
Oh,
okay.
Hello?
Mutagen.
There we go.
Hello.
Welcome back. It is your
But-
turn.
But you all were not willing, so I will charge towards here, right here, costing 5 feet of my movement, and I will attack this pincer that is right in front of my friend Felix, my good friend Felix, who spent his luck.
All
And
right. Oh no. Okie doke.
Right. I have a second attack. Damage self. Oh fuck. Okay.
All right. If you want to roll the d8.
Oh fuck. Right. Sure. Right.
So you nick yourself with your blade, and you damage yourself for
Oh
2.
god damn it. Is this is this sea breeze? I am not used to it.
I can't help not hit, let him roll that, darn it.
My second attack. Yes.
Oof.
Damage.
Do not hit the second attack either.
Yeah, that's it. I will stay, here, like making body for my homies. That's it. That's everything I can do.
All right. Valen.
Okay, well, the roar and the rushing in of his compadres has made his battle tactics a little different than what he was about to try doing. But these things haven't seemed all that dangerous. I don't think he feels the need to pull out all the stops just yet. So I think he is. What is he going to do? He's going to go ahead and just, with his bonus action, he's going to go ahead and activate his blade song. So we'll get that guy going under his features. Bada bing, bada boom.
All right.
And he'll go ahead and more feet. He sees this pincer way down here in the bottom corner, just to make sure I've got distance on him. 45 feet, perfect. He's going to go ahead and hurl a bolt of ice at this creature. A ray of frost, if you would.
All right.
Hey!
Man, the
Nice.
criticals are cracked tonight.
I know, they're frequent.
Nice.
I disarm the crab.
One of its pincers goes flying off of his body, leaving him with only a single pincer.
And then I will roll normal damage. Oh, well, it automatically rolls double. So, oh no, that is 2d8. That's correct. So 4 points of cold damage to that little guy.
All right. 4 points of cold damage, and he's also, I don't think I have a button for disarmed, but he's missing a limb. We're all just need to be aware of it, I guess.
How dare, that claw was more for just attracting mates.
He'll move a little bit closer as well. He's got the extra movement speed here. But that will be his turn for the moment.
So, are these guys still frightened through the end of my turn here? Or are they no longer frightened?
I think it's to the end of your next turn. Let's look. They become frightened of you until the end of your next turn. Yep. So they're frightened until the end of this turn.
Okay. So, as I move towards them, I look at this guy and I lick my lips, and then recklessly attack.
Ooh, you hit.
I slam it down, but clearly not hard enough.
You slam it down. It takes 6 damage from you.
And then I will extra attack. And are these crabs, like, if they get turned upside down, can they pop themselves back up?
I mean, I would assume after like a turn or something.
Okay. Well, I am going to flip him upside down.
All right. You grab the little crab and he struggles. But you get the best of him and you flip him upside down, and he is now on his back doing the little crab bug thing where he's trying to get back up. He's now prone.
Okay. Well, that would be my turn.
All right.
It's
Pincers.
pincer time.
It's pincer time. This pincer looks at who's the last person to attack it? I guess Jin, right? He's looking at Jin now, and he reaches with his pincers and tries to grab you. And he does.
The bot's on.
This is wild. All right, let's see what happens. I guess just traditional double damage on Jin, and so I think he has to, right? His pincer claws use sharp pincer. All right, so I guess only one of them is gonna have crit damage. So the first one's gonna have crit damage. 15 on Jin, and the second pincher is going to pinch down as well. Can I just do normal damage, or do I have to roll pincher? I have to roll the attack again. Disregard. And he's gonna roll his second damage normally. He's gonna pinch Jin hard with both of his claws for 12. And then, hold on, I think. Then he's gonna also, because he hit both of his pincers, he's gonna run crushing grip. So target. All right, you have to make a DC 15 strength throw, Jin.
Sick. I was out getting a candy, and when I get back, I have to make a strength saving throw. Today's not my day.
All right, you do not break free, and you are technically now prone or grappled, I guess. Is there a button for grappled?
Yeah. Grapple with my speed is 0. Yeah,
There should be like a net symbol or a net icon.
Restrained. There we go.
It kind of works.
All right, this pincer has Jin in both of its claws.
Fuck.
And that's that pincer's turn. This pincer now locked onto Valen. He's gonna run up. Not quite close enough, just sprinting up towards him. This pincer is gonna turn to Hal, who, oh no, he's on his back. He's gonna roll over and flip and get himself back up after a little bit of an effort. This pincer is also gonna run up to, I guess, Jinshi. He's gonna target Jin. He's gonna run his pincer claws.
Bring it on.
All right, Kripa, activate. Oh my god, that was almost a one.
It was close. It was close. It was that close.
Oh fuck.
Well, he
Had
hits
it not been for the laws of these lands.
Jinshi with the first claw. He's gonna hit Jinshi with oh, so he hits, wow, with both claws again. Damn, Jin.
I guess that happens.
He hits you for 13 damage with the first one. And then, oh, this might be it.
Can I silvery barbs the second one?
You can.
There's no need for that. I will get out of here really quick.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
So Terra is gonna use her reaction to cast silvery barbs. Which, here, so if you want to roll that for me.
You know what? He said not to, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
like
Oh.
if the other crab, right, go ahead.
She's doing it anyway. She's silvery barbing it, which means he has to just basically re-roll, right?
Yeah, just whatever the lower roll is.
All right, the second damage. Oh, I have to roll a fake attack before I can do the damage.
Thank you.
And then I'm gonna roll, I guess, I'm gonna roll a critical just so it rolls 2, and then we'll see what the lower roll is. So that doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sorry. I have to do that again. Hold on. All right. Attack. Ignore the attack. Damage. He's gonna roll his damage that she's gonna intercept.
So it's the attack roll that I intercept.
Oh, is it the attack
He
roll?
takes the
Yeah.
yeah. So he
Yeah,
basically
Oh, okay. So
receives
he would
disadvantage.
take the 12 then, right? I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So he takes a 12 and does not hit Jin for the second part of the damage.
And then the advantage we'll give to Felix because he'll be up first.
All right.
All right. All right, Jin, get to praying.
Yeah, bring it on.
This pincer's gonna reach
I
out
can take it.
with
I
his
can take it.
pincer claws, and he's gonna try to snag him with your first one. Class does not hit. He misses, but he reaches back out with his other one. I swear I'm not doing this on purpose. I swear it.
Oh fuck. Yeah.
I swear it.
Those things happen.
Screen share will believe you.
I'm literally recording. Double damage. Oh.
Right, I can take it. If I survive, it is everything alright. Right.
Oh my
everything
god, he hits you for 11 damage. Leaving
Everything
Jin
is
with
good.
3 health.
Everything is good.
Everything is okay.
Everything is okay. Everything is under control.
I was muted. I'm going to a couple steps forward of control. Sure. We're gonna start with I'll call out a healing word to Jinshi. Try to keep him up. We're gonna upcast. Oh, let's do that. 4. Could have been better. 11 points of healing, Jin.
Thank you.
It's
really
not a
needed
ton,
that.
but it'll something for now, hopefully.
Oh.
And then
it
I'm
is-
going to yell at this pincer, because he's being far too aggressive for my liking, and that's going to be my vicious mark. 15 fails.
Yep, he hears you. What is the damage he takes?
It is 6 points of psychic.
Alright, you hit that one for 6.
Gonna be it.
Felix is gonna start swinging.
You have advantage on the first one.
Nice, perfect. I'm gonna swing at this one that is grappling Jinshi.
Alright.
26.
Ooh, you hit.
I'm gonna roll the damage. 12.
Ooh, you hit him for 12 damage, leaving him with 1 measly little health.
Alright, I'm gonna attack again. 27.
Yeah, that hits.
Damage.
And I assume you kill him unless you roll a 0 somehow.
Oh yeah, literally just like leap up on top of its shell and just plant the sword and get your pincers off him.
You do. His pincers loosen and Jinshi becomes unrestrained.
I'm just gonna run up, like run past the corpse and start screaming at the. Oh wait, can I? Theoretically. Okay, DM, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Am I able to move in between Jinshi and the pinchers over here to not provoke attack of opportunity?
No, that seems a
technically,
little...
Well, if you don't leave his area.
yeah,
well,
because technically I'm not leaving this pincer's range, and I would just enter this one's range.
That's a good point. Yeah,
yeah, that's it.
I guess I'll allow it.
I'm just gonna get in between them now and just start firmly yelling at the pinchers, trying to get them on my attention and say, "You little grubby things, you get your hands off him and you don't touch him anymore."
All right.
That is gonna be my turn.
All right, Jin, it's your turn, bud.
Yeah, it's time of the samurai revenge, at least I think. Well, with my like after being grappled and like taking these hits, taking attacks, like Jinshi will start hyperventilating, like almost if he's under some kind of anxiety attack, like the sort of thing.
All right.
And I will use my second wing. I will use with my bonus actions. So I will regain some hit points. A total of 7 because I rolled a 1.
All right.
Today's not my day, man.
So you heal
And-
7.
Yep.
Nice.
And with like under this anxiety attack, I will grab my sword and I will land a blow against this pincer right here. Yeah, I will make 2 attacks against him. The first one,
All right. You hit.
right, and 4, 9 damage, and second one against the same.
You
4.
barely hit. Just barely.
Nice. Better than nothing, I guess.
All right.
So 22 damage total.
All right.
And Jinshi will scream, "Don't hold me! Get your fucking hands off me!" That sort of thing.
All right. Valen.
Holding a baby makes it hard to use a mouse. Okay. All right. Well, Valen's going to pull out a spell I don't think he's used at least anytime recently amongst his party. But as he sees the pincer he pelted with an ice bolt approach, he's going to go ahead and kind of hop the rapier over to his other hand, spin it to to an upset kind of position, which he would never hold a rapier in, but you know, that's him. And he will go ahead and kind of hold his hand in front of his face. These purple glow kind of appears around his palm, and with a flick, this extended purplish black blade of condensed shadow forms in his hand as he casts Shadow Blade at 3rd level. There's that. So now he's got this solidified blade of gloom in his hand, his main hand, ready to strike. So he's going to go ahead and come up to here, and he's going to go ahead and take his first swing. And I believe we discussed this before, but you permitted the use of Green Flame Blade with Shadow Blade?
I think so, yeah. I was like, does that just mean you get to use your green flame blade enchantment on your shadow blade? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah, basically, because as part of Green Flame Blade's spellcasting, you make a weapon attack with a weapon that you have, and in this case, the weapon he has is the Shadow Blade as the weapon.
Well, the shadow blade was also a bonus action, so you still have a full action, so I would say yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think I have a macro program for it. However, it does come with a neat caveat of if we are in dim light or darkness, every attack roll made with Shadow Blade is done so with advantage. And you mentioned we are currently in dim light.
Yes, you are.
Ooh.
All right, so I'm gonna make an attack roll. I don't know why it rolled 3. I
One
don't
of those is
know
probably
why.
your spellcasting mod, and then the other one I don't know where that's coming. Look.
Don't you
don't-
have like
It would be-
Elven Currents?
I don't have Elven Accuracy,
Alright.
so I don't know. You want me to re-roll it with 2, or
Well, it only says it's supposed
so
to
it
do
would
two
be-
2d8 plus mod, your modifier. I don't know.
no?
where
No, I'm talking about the attack roll. The attack roll should be 2d20, not 3. I don't know why it's rolling 3d20.
You
Oh,
could just take the first 2, which is 14 and 5.
Yeah, can you see him? Oh yeah, you can. So
Yeah.
so the d22 was the first roll, so we can, if you're good, just taking that.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's how the math has to work with this. So hang on, let me see if it does the Shadow Blade damage correctly. It did not. So that's fun. Because it casts at 3rd level, it actually deals 3d8 damage per strike instead of 2d8. So for the weapon attack, we have 13 psychic damage so far.
Yeah.
In addition to that, he will take 1d8 fire damage from Green Flame Blade for another 3 points of fire damage from the first attack.
Okay.
So, and then with the second attack, he'll just make a normal Green Flame or Shadow Blade strike. Oh, I gotta click it again. Okay. That's gonna be awkward. Okay. I should make a macro for the weapon itself to be able to roll it. But again, with advantage, and once again, rolling 3 dice. The 20 was the 3rd one, though, so if you want to take the 17 and the 19 instead, it's up to you.
I'll let you take the 20. I don't know why it's acting funky. We'll have to dig into that later.
Yeah. Okay, so with that, then, let's see, I will roll the non-critical. Well, yeah, you want to roll your nat 20 business to see what happens?
Oh, yes. You take off his other
Other
arm,
pincer.
leaving
Oh
him.
my god, I can't attack anymore!
Alright, so I'll roll normal damage, which again, I need another d8 on top of that, for a total of 19 points of psychic damage with that strike.
Ooh.
Hold on, I'm adding a note. You said how much was the second? How much was that damage? The last one you rolled?
The last attack is 19 psychic damage in total.
Oof. Leave him with 1 health. But because he's missing both of his pincers and he's bleeding profusely, he just kind of bleeds out, and you kill him.
Excellent. So that was 10 feet of movement. He'll go ahead and move to engage with the rest of them as well with his 40 feet. So he can easily get to there and brace himself to attack these guys on his next turn.
All right. Ow.
All right. So I'm going to recklessly attack by picking this guy up, as I did before, and throwing him at one of his companions.
All right.
So I'm using him as a weapon to.
So you try to pick him up, but as you do, his little pincer kind of gets you. You pull away and you drop him. Don't quite get him.
And I will extra attack. Sorry, recklessly attacking. And I'll do it again.
All right, you try to pick him up again, and you do. You successfully have him in your hands.
And I throw him at this guy.
All right, you throw him at this guy, and it does, I guess, improvised damage, which is what, a 1d4?
Yeah, 1d4.
1d4 plus strength.
I like that.
Yeah, 1d4 plus strength.
So +3.
All right, let me.
So wait, would the 1d4 affect both of them, since they're both slamming into each other?
Sure.
Perfect.
So they each
4.
take 4 damage apiece. He takes 4. He takes 4. And And this one is also now.
Hooray! Disadvantage on that guy.
All right. Was that it?
Yep, that's my
All right.
attack.
This pincer rolls over and uses his action to stand up.
Loser.
This one hears Felix yelling and looks over at Felix and pinces him, if that's a word. Does not hit, I don't think, right?
Nope.
Nope. The other pincer, hearing Felix yell and Jin yell right after him, looks back at Jin, pinces.
Why back at Jin? Just a question.
Because you screamed, "Don't pinch me!" or whatever, and he is doing it anyways.
If you don't like him, Isaac, like you can just tell me, man.
Yeah, it's-
Like straight to face, and he hits. Yeah.
He
And
hits with his first
Yeah.
pincer.
Oh my god! Oh,
Ooh.
thank god.
Oh.
Never mind. I thought
Okay.
that was the 20 for a sec.
So his first
Oh.
pincer hits. Let me roll the damage on that first. His first pincer crunches down on you for 11 damage, but his second pincer, it misses. But not only does it misses so badly that this crab and this crab become critically distracted by it, and all of them have disadvantage until the start of Jin's next turn. Terra.
Oh wait, Isaac, don't you mean this pincer's next turn? Not Isaac? I mean, Jin?
This imposes disadvantage on all attacks made by your allies until the start of your next. Oh, I guess you're right. Yes,
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
till that's turn.
Sorry to do that. Actually.
No, please do it. I can only keep track of so much.
That's fair. That is a lot of disadvantage to impose.
All right. I think Terra's muted.
has
I'm gonna
8.
focus the one that is already pretty wounded in between Valen and Felix,
All right.
and I'm just gonna, I guess, yell at it some more to stop being so dang aggressive.
All right. He listens to what you say and hears every word.
3 hope points.
3 damage. You yell at it and its shell just kind of cracks a little bit.
That's be it for now.
Alright, I am going to start swinging at the pincer that I targeted over here. 13.
You do not hit your first attack.
Alright, I'll give it another shot.
All right.
Dirty 20.
That one hits.
And that is, with another +2 for dueling, 12 damage.
All right. 12
All right,
damage.
That is going to be my turn.
All right. Jin.
Right. Well, let's make this work. Right. With my bonus action, I will channel my warrior fury, and I will use my fighting spirit. Yeah. So I will have advantage in all my attack rolls in this turn, and I will use my beautiful action surge. So I will have an extra action, so I have 4 attacks. This is taking way too long, and I will make 2 attacks against this pincer that I am targeting right now. So with advantage, which means
All right. You hit.
right. First one for damage, 10 damage.
All right.
And
is with 1 health.
second one attack this one as well. That was normal for some reason. I will roll it again.
Yeah, you can just roll the second
10 or 12.
one. Neither of those hit. Second one.
Right. I will make my third attack against this one as well.
Third attack does not hit.
God damn it. Oh, it was normal.
Alright.
I will
That one hits.
roll it again. Just for, I don't know. Yeah, so it was 23 and 13 then.
You're smacking the same guy?
Yeah, the same.
Alright, you slice him, and he drops to the ground dead.
And well, just for the play feelings, I will keep like hitting him like until someone stops me or until like there is nothing but a bloodbath.
Valen.
Alright, Valen's gonna go ahead, seeing that the one beside him has been taken care of, he's gonna change his target to the one he's behind. He's gonna start ripping through it with his psychic blade. Find a better way to do this, but yeah, I told it not to consume mana last time, and it still tried to. Yeah, because it's not casting a spell each time I use it, so I might have to figure out a better way to do that. I'm just gonna roll 2d20 and plus. See, why I clicked on 2 and it rolled 1.
I don't know.
I'll roll again.
You're just clicking in your straight up dice box, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Weird.
So, what's my spell attack? Plus 8. So does a 23 I assume hit?
It does.
All right. So then he will take 18 plus, I believe, 4. Yeah, 22 points of psychic damage with the first attack.
Okay. Big damage.
Oof.
Big damage.
And then with the second attack, he will go ahead and strike again, this time using Green Flame Blade. So roll 2d20. A 12 was the higher, so I assume a 20 will still hit.
Does.
So he will roll what we would essentially 4d8, 3 for the psychic and 1 for the Green Flame Blade.
Alright, 17 points of damage. You kill the crab. He falls to the ground, dead, leaving one pincer remaining. I think it's Hal's turn.
Hal's turn.
Hal's turn.
It's Hal's turn. This is the only guy left.
Yep.
Hal rolls over the dead bodies, comes down here, and back to sleep. And since it's worked so far, he's just gonna pick this guy.
All right, you pick him up.
Dang.
But you aren't quite strong enough. He breaks free of your grasp.
I say no. Come back here. Dang it.
Okay.
Yes.
Even with a nat 1, it's still an 8. That's funny. All right, we pick him up.
All right. So I've assumed that he's. How big are these guys?
I mean,
Are they
they're
as big as we are?
yeah, they're not quite as big as you are, but they're pretty sizable. Probably like 4 or 5 feet tall.
Okay.
The big old
So
crabs.
I have both of its pincers and probably 2 legs like squished into my hand. Then I'm holding it belly side up, so its belly is out, and I'm just holding it with all my might, so that my friends can attack it with advantage.
All right, it is restrained.
That's my turn.
This pincer is going to roll against your strength again to see if he breaks free.
Okay. Is it a save or is it a?
Yours would be an ability check versus my saving throw.
Okay. Would I still have advantage?
Probably not. I would assume, since it's a
Yeah,
strength versus
not an
strength.
attack. Oh.
It breaks free and drops to the ground, but in doing so consumes its turn. Terra. Well, that's a good strat, though.
Thanks.
I'm gonna keep yelling at it, I guess, for my companions to end it.
All right.
Jerk.
It doesn't hear you. It's still trying to collect itself from the drop.
I don't think these things can hear very well. They keep ignoring me.
Does they have ears to start with?
That'll be my turn.
Alright, I'm
Felix.
going to attempt to strike this thing.
Finish him.
Finish him.
25.
Yeah, you hit.
And plus 2, 12 slashing damage.
All right, you hit.
Alright. Extra attack.
a
I'm going to
question.
roll one more attack.
What's up, Jin?
And this things like things.
Nice.
Because if they are, they take like 2 plus, right?
9 slashing damage.
All right. You said, what was your question, Jin?
I think this means like fiends, because if they are like the Holy Avenger, like deals an extra damage again. If they
So
are fiends, of
they're
course.
not actually like fiend creatures. The
Right.
note just, I guess,
They're
referred
not
to them
actually
as
undead.
fiends.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Sure.
mine only damage. Yeah, it's not fiend or undead, so it wouldn't do extra damage.
Right.
I called them a
Uh,
fiend in the
Fiend-
note just to, I don't know, make them like evil, scary, but they're not actually.
Yeah, it's not something from
Yeah.
the 9s. It's more just to make it sound
Alright.
scary.
All right. That
I'm,
makes sense.
I'm just gonna move behind this thing and just gently call out to Jinshi and say, "You can finish it off. Go for it."
She is blind with rage, man. Like even more rage than Olof, I guess.
Swing, Jin, swing for your life. Don't get pinched again.
Give
You
this-
know who he's going for if it's his turn again.
23.
You hit.
Right, the first one.
Oof.
9 damage, got them.
Beautiful.
And the second one.
I was like, you don't even have to make a second roll. Your first hit was so immense that it killed.
Let him do it
the
for
creature.
catharsis.
Yeah.
Its body's just dead and he's swinging anyways. Just
Yeah, max damage. Right.
Hey!
On the last blow, max damage got
Yeah.
them.
Jin's just sitting there smacking at it with his sword. It's just turning into like a little mushy pile of crab meat. And with that,
Alright, that's good enough. That's good enough.
And no, he will keep like hitting like the bodies like blindly.
all right. Well, you've cleared all the pincers in the first section of the cave. And that leaves nothing really else to be explored in the section of the cave except for, I guess, looting the pincer bodies if y'all would like to claim one. I'm assuming you guys each want to claim a body.
Yeah.
All right, Valen, you're looking at the first body. And you get 4 raw fish meat, 2 monster blood, and another pincer part.
Nice.
All right. Terra's going to look through her pincer, and she's gonna find 1 monster blood on her pincer. Jin is going to start sifting through his mushy pile of pincer, and you are going to find
Nice.
3 pincer parts. Felix is gonna look through his pincer, and he's gonna find 2 raw fish meat and 1 monster blood. And last but not least, Hal's going to look through his pincer. And he is going to find fish meat and 2 monster blood.
Right.
All right. So with that, you guys have completed the section of the cave. Are you ready to advance? Or would you like to short rest or anything?
I would like
Felix is gonna look over at Jinshi and then kinda to cast looks off of him and more focus on Felix. He'll announce to everyone, "Alright, everyone, get a small fire going or whatever you need to get comfortable. You need to sit down for a small moment before we head ahead.
All right.
Just take a moment to refuel. Terra and Valen, you can get your magics back, and Hollow can rest his muscles for a little bit. And
Did you guys
can all
want to
get into
long rest
bed.
here, or are you trying to short rest here?
no, just short rest.
Okay. Well, if y'all want to go into your character sheets and take a little breather.
I'll pull out my Song of Rest. Jinshi recover.
Thank you. Well, since I was the only person who take damage like in this combat, I will grab my loot and make company for Terra in her song.
You have a loot?
I have a loot. No, an harp
Yep.
actually.
Oh, you have a
harp, yeah.
harp. Nice. Well, you guys all play this beautiful song of rest. It's very restful and peaceful.
Should Hal play his bagpipe?
Get in there.
No, I'm just kidding.
All right. Well, let me know when you guys are all ready to proceed.
Here, real quick. I'll have Felix give Jinshi his health potion.
Thank you, man. And well, with this hour of rest, then she will like lose his furry like state of mind, I guess. But he was like really angry about being grappled by slash holding against his will. So yeah, I take it.
It's nothing at all. Quietly, while the party are still small resting, Felix will whisper to Genshi in private and say, listen, I don't mean to say it in any way I don't mean any ill will when I ask you this, but if you want, I'll take point next time so that you don't have to take so much in front of you. There's no shame in asking that. I can handle myself just as much as I can with you.
Right now, this is a matter of personal honor. I think I will take the lead, no matter what.
Alright, then I'll stick to your back. Just know that if things get too much, you can take a step back and I'll jump in for you. Okay?
Thank you, Felix. I really appreciate your assistance.
Good. And he'll pat his back and say, when we get back to the inn, let's have a bit of a drink and then we can talk about it. Right?
Yeah, sure. We can talk when we get back to the inn, but right now, I want just to deal with these fiends.
Alright then.
So now that we're all short rested up, and looking at the clock, it's 9:56. You guys have one more map in the cave to go through and one final fight. I'll let the party decide. Do you guys want to pause here and continue later, or do we want to push through to this last map?
I vote to pause.
Yeah, it is almost our time,
That's
and the combat in D&D takes an hour or more. So.
Get ready for bed.
All right. Well, with that, let me do a little outro real quick. Take down another recording. Thank everybody at home for watching. If you guys are watching, thank you all as players for playing. And we will continue our adventure through the Crab Cave in session 8. And until then, we'll see you later.
Bye.
Nice. Yep.